Hello there, and welcome to my second installment of my video blog. This time today I'm gonna make a very basic pasta. I've got some garlic, and there's about a clove and a half of garlic. You can use onion, it's not a problem. Good quality tomatoes. I'm using this brand here. It's not a necessarily famous brand. In fact, this cost me 45p from the same place I bought my massive jar of sun-dried tomatoes. Cheese, grated cheese, as before, to taste. Cheddar cheese, extra mature if possible, because that's normally. This I'm gonna have a lot of basil in there. I'm gonna some white wine. That's generally quite cheap white wine. It's even Lambrini is good enough for that. It's perfectly okay. And your spaghetti, of course, 200 grams of spaghetti. I'm slightly better organised this time than I was the last time I did this. Fry off the garlic. Now the garlic does need to be fried a little bit. You don't want it to burn, okay? Do not burn the garlic. Now, good quality tin tomatoes these days do cost a bit of money, you know. I remember when it cost like 25, 30p, and then suddenly, as soon as people started buying them, boom, it suddenly jumped up, and now they're costing 90p a pound, easy. It's ridiculous. I find it ridiculous. So these ones I buy from a local shop, a local Italian shop on Gloucester Road in Bristol, called C&T Licata and Son. And these are actually pretty good value, I'll be honest, because they're only 45p. I don't know how long that's going to last. But then some wine. Add some wine. How much? Good question. I suppose put it in about half a glass. It doesn't really matter. Red or white, it's fine. Red just gives it a bit more flavour. And no. Red gives it a bit more colour. But to be honest, in the end, it doesn't really make a huge difference. There's a slight difference in flavour, but not a massive amount. And they're both really nice. Okay, so yeah, I probably put a bit too much in there. And importantly, basil. Lots of basil. You can't go wrong with basil. There's a saying in I was going to say my family, but it's not really true. There's a saying in my bedroom, I suppose, because I'm the only one who says it, that you can't have too much basil. Okay, there's your first instalment of basil. Can you see it properly? Yeah, that's okay. Even better. Okay, give it a bit of a stir. Bring that to the boil and simmer. Simmer for, I'm guessing it's going to probably take about 20 minutes. Okay, here we are a couple of minutes later, and it started to boil. Now the idea is to let it reduce. I wouldn't mind adding a bit of pepper actually. Pepper is not too bad. Just a bit of pepper. And perhaps a little bit of salt as well in here. That's a pretty good idea. A bit of seasoning. Can't really go wrong. I think a bit more salt. Okay, here we are a few minutes later, and you see now that I've been stirring it. Okay, do stir it. Okay, stir it quite a bit. But now that it started to thicken up and it started to spit at me with contempt, now you can start putting on the water. Okay, water's there, nearly done. Now, if you look at this, I'm going to zoom in. See how this thickened up? And that's much thicker than it was before. That is going to be quite good sauce. That should be very good sauce actually. That is good. Not yet done because you see it's still very liquid. But I've basically put it down to a lower setting, lower heat. It doesn't really make a huge, it doesn't really matter that much if you finish the sauce first. In fact, you could make loads of this sauce and then cool it down, freeze it, and pull it out for a future occasion. Okay, so the pasta's boiled. This is the consistency of the sauce. Okay. So, if I take my shadow out of the way, you might be able to see a bit better. It's still relatively liquid, but it's basically very soft. Okay, it hasn't really stodged up, hasn't become really solid, but at the same time, it hasn't got a big thick layer of water on there, a big thick layer of liquid. So now, drain the pasta. It's stuck to the floor, means it's cooked. And in goes the tomato sauce. If you've ever seen the film Eat, Pray, Love, then when she's in Italy, when Julia Roberts is in Italy, and she's having some spaghetti, and it's something like this that she's eating, something very simple, nothing over elaborate. Now, bit of a stir. Some more basil. As you can see, as I said before, you can't have too much basil. Boom. Yeah, that's all good, all lovely. Bit of a stir. Bang the heat on for a second, even though I'm not sure it's 100% necessary. In goes the cheese. In goes the cheese. And people have asked me, friends that is, in the past, why I put cheese in there at the end. And to be honest, it's something that my mum taught me, and I sometimes make it without cheese, but actually I prefer it with cheese, you know, because it kind of softens it up. It takes away that slight tomato acidity. You know, there's a slight acidic flavour to tomatoes, and it takes away that flavour, that acidity at the end, at the very end. And there we have it. Very simple, hopefully, very simple, and it's good. Now all we need is some Parmesan. If you're going to buy Parmesan, be careful, don't buy some of the grated ones. I mean, some of the grated ones are okay, but some of them are just not very nice. Like, I don't know if they still make it, but the Buitoni one, it just tastes of Parmesan crust. And that's not very good. Don't buy it. Unless you like it. If you like it, great. And of course, my ace fruit drink. Simple. Quite amazing how just a bit of tomato tastes really nice. That's good.